This is the Covenant Metal Show. I am your humble host, Dave Kruse, and I'm here with two really cool dudes from a band called Dying to Live. Guys, thanks so much for being on the show. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Dying to Live. Let's, well, you know what? First, let's start out with your names and your positions in the band.
Okay. Go ahead, Raz.
I'm Raz, and I play lead guitar and rhythm, and I do backups.
And I am Sean Blockley. I am the front man for Dying to Live, lead vocals.
Very cool. Awesome. So, Dying to Live. First, I'd like to know how you came up with the name and how long y'all been around.
Raz, you good with me getting this one?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So, I've been a worship leader for going on 23 years now. I've been a worship leader for going on 23 years. About 10 years ago, I had a restlessness to do something a little bit more aggressive, and just kind of conceptualized on this EP board what I wanted. I kind of built like an album title, and I just saw the words "Dying to Live" across my mind's eye, and I put a Roman numeral 2 in the middle of it. And for me, it was kind of a throw to the fact that when you're following Christ, you gain a lot more by laying yourself down. And what the Apostle Paul said, for me to live is Christ, to die is gain. And little did I know that before the band would even get started, God would give me an opportunity to prove that statement, and He did. But that's where I kind of conceptualized that, and that's where the name came from.
Wow, I like that. I really do, man.
Yeah,
that is awesome. So, starting the band was your idea then, right?
Initially, yeah. I was assigned independent artist at the time with a little independent label, and had just finished up an EP, a solo artist, singer songwriter. It was worship tinged with rock. The name of the EP was called "Wind Worship and Warfare," Ooh. And it was just a nod to what I was going through in about a 5-year span. And I took some acoustic songs, and then I did one cover by Rick Pina called "You're an Army," and we rocked it up, put it up, and dropped D, and it was really, really fun. And then once I completed the EP and I wanted to decide, I had this poster up in my pool room at home, and the guy that was working with me at the time, Dean McDarris, he was our drummer. He looked at it. He goes, I like that. I said, do you now? I said, yeah. He goes, yeah. So that's when Dean went to work to set about, recruiting we needed a heavy rock guitarist, / metal. And Dean placed an ad, and lo and behold, we get to meet Raz a couple weeks later. And that was about 10 years ago. Now,
wow.
Yeah, it's been a minute. But we lasted... We decided to put together a set list. We had me, Raz, Dean, and then it was Edward Fabian, who was playing bass. David Angel. Fabian, yeah, man. Did some guitars for us, and we did one show. We did like it was at a church somewhere, in Relentless Life Church, Chatsworth, Georgia. And they were having kind of like this heavy rock festival kind of vibe going on. It was Beyond Bethel, us, and I think it was a band called End of Silence or something like that. And we did.
Is that where y'all are from? It's Georgia?
Yeah, Northwest. I'm Northwest Georgia. Raz is from Southeast Tennessee, Cleveland area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Raz is Southeast Tennessee. I'm Northwest Georgia. Our drummer, Adam Lance, he's from Hickson, Tennessee, up my original hometown, Sell Creek, Tennessee. And then we've got Austin McBrayer. Austin's out of Southeast Tennessee, Cleveland area. And then we got Steve Eaker, who's my bass player. He is from Dalton, Georgia. So me and Stevie are the only ones from Dalton, and the rest of the boys are out from Tennessee. So wow, 10 years you guys have been around. That's pretty cool. So
what have you guys been up to? Like, have you guys played a lot of gigs? You have any new, new material that you're working on, a new album in the works, things like that?
Well, to add some context to it, we did one show 10 years ago, and a couple of guys lost interest immediately because they were a little tested beyond what they were used to. Because some of these guys, they were great musicians, but they just weren't comfortable yet making the leap from like contemporary Christian music to heavy rock.
Oh yeah, that's a huge leap. Yeah,
it was a big jump. Sometimes God gives you the vision, but you don't automatically assume that the guys that are riding with you are ready for that jump, right?
Right.
And so we did one show and it came out great. Everybody said, when y'all gonna do some more? And then two of the guys quit right after the first show. And at that point, wow. I had put like 5 years into trying to get music rolling. And I finally decided it was time to take a rest from it, trying to make music happen. So when I did that, Raz said, "Hey man, I still love the concept of Dying to Live. Do you care if I carry the banner and have the name?" And I thought at that time that God was going to just say, "Sean, it's time to put it down." And I told Raz, I said, "With my blessings, man, take the name, do with it what you will, see what God can do with it." So Raz has really been the only one kind of holding the banner with various other members over the past 10 years. And so that time elapsed, and I thought that Dying to Live was dead. I thought for sure, because when you get so frustrated and tired, you work so hard at something, you don't see much return. You stand back and you go, am I banging my head against the wall? Lord, what am I doing here? Because I'm wearing out my family, I'm wearing out my friends. And the only thing I knew for sure at the time that God was calling me to do was to be worship leader. So I just settled in trying to be a worship leader, right? And so I focused on that. And Raz and I would keep in touch, and he would ask my opinions on certain things, and I'd give him some insight, even did some songwriting collaborations. But I thought that was it. I'm just a worship leader, and I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that. And then last year, me and Steve, my bass player, we went to see Disciple at City Church in Chattanooga, and we met up with Raz and Adam Lance, who's the drummer, and kind of felt God kind of nudging me on the shoulder. He says, "Okay, it's time now." And I went, "You waited 10 years, Lord, and 60 pounds later." And now he said, "Yeah, now you can do it."
Wow. That's amazing, man.
We all came together, and there was this lead singer, guitarist, bassist, and the drum player. We all came back, and we all looked at each other like, what's God's doing? And so God resurrected it. He did. He said, "Now you can handle it." So.
Wow. That's pretty cool, man. That really is,
Yeah.
So,
Raz, you want to add anything to that, man?
Yeah, we got to hear you talk, man.
During that 10-year span, I was the front man for a while, and I had to get acclimated to that, and it was not easy. I went from being the guitar player, backup singer, to front man guitar player, and I was like, okay, this is kind of different for me, but all right, let's go with it. And no matter what life brought my way, I just couldn't let it go, couldn't lay it down, and I'm so glad I didn't, because now we're 1,000 times better, and we have great guys playing with us. And we during that 10 years that we was part, we did a few festivals. One was called Jesus Fest in Maryville, Tennessee, and then we did Unabashed Music Festival in Sevierville, Tennessee, and they both had a great turnout, and we played with Absent from the Body.
Oh wow!
At the Jesus Fest and the Unabashed, and it was a lot of fun.
It sounds like it, man. Yeah, absolutely. Now, so you guys have some material out. I have heard some of your stuff, and is there plans for like a full length album? Any new material you guys are working on right now?
Yeah, our initial debut was Grind, and it was our first experiment to try to get a track down, and it was a fun process. You know how you're starting all over again, and it takes a while to learn. You got to learn those new muscle memories. We got the raw track down. And I like the kind of conceptually, we all decided to try to tell God's story through the eyes of Moses. And Grind is about the nation of Israel, believe it or not, because I asked the Lord years ago. I said, Lord, why Israel? Why is it so important that we know their story? And God said, It's because Israel was your story. Because every one of you were born into slavery at the moment you were born. You're in under the snare of sin. And all of you need to know, have a vision, have a be, do, and have for your life. I have a much better destiny for you. But until you deal with your slavery at the very beginning, you'll stay enslaved for the rest of your life. And so grind was about that. It's about awakening. So we're taking one song at a time to tell the story. The next song is called Breakaway, which we're recording in January. So grind is about, ripping through the rat race, trying hard to save face. All I know is just Chris, God, I need someone to help me. It was a cry for help, right? And that's what Israel did, is they cried out to God for a savior. And then Breakaway is about Israel saying, okay, we're taking a stand. We're not going to be slaves anymore. And so they face off against Pharaoh. But Breakaway is even harder and faster and heavier than Grind. Grind's a nice tempo song, so it leans towards the heavy rock side. So the hope is to do about one song every other month and kind of tell the epic story of Israel coming out of slavery into the promised land.
Oh, wow. Dude, that's epic, man. I can't wait to hear that, sincerely.
Yeah.
So, So let's go ahead and move towards musical influences. Raz, what are your musical influences? What got you to decide, hey, I want to be a musician. I want to do music?
Well, first and foremost, my dad is my biggest influence. He's the one that taught me how to play in the beginning, and I'm very grateful for that. But as far as guitar players and music, Dimebag Darrell was one of my huge influences. I love his guitar playing, just the fluid playing, and he's just flawless. And Mark Tremonti and Zach Wilde, and then here recently it's been Brad Noah and Josiah and Andrew Statton from Disciple. They're some great guys, and what's really awesome is they mixed and mastered our single, and going to be mixing and mastering our next single too, Breakaway.
Yeah.
And Andrew will be doing a guitar solo on that song too. So
very cool, awesome. All right, how about you, Sean?
Recent influences, I was late to the party, but John Witherspoon from Seven Dust, man. I love his smoky, soulful vocals, very powerful. Believe it or not, inspired by Freddie Mercury, Queen. Love his presence on a stage.
Okay.
Yeah, love his power and his range. John Witherspoon, Freddie Mercury. I'm pretty focused. I don't really deviate much. I'm into like Breaking Benjamin, Disturbed, the heavier rock, tinged with metal. But on the metalcore scene, Wage War, Memphis Mayfire, those guys are doing some stuff I really, really like.
Nice. It's very cool. So let's go ahead and I haven't done this in quite a while, and I just feel led right now to do it. Is when and how did you come to know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior?
Go ahead, Raz.
Okay. I was raised in a Christian home. My dad always told us, if you have a problem in life, go to Jesus and God's word, and it'll help you out a whole lot. And I've always hung on to that, and I used to go to this church called Old Fashioned Gospel Tabernacle. It was a Pentecostal church, and I got in there one time and the Spirit just fell on me, and I was just like, God, please forgive me. And I had to be at maybe 12 or something like that. And I've not looked back since.
Well, I was 9 years old when I accepted Christ as my Lord. My mom led me to the Lord. I've been walking with God for over 40 years now. My mom was washing dishes one day, and she told me about this man Jesus, and I just, at 9 years of age, it just felt very powerfully important for me to know God. And so I grabbed my little brother. He was like 6 at the time, and I drug him out to the yard and made him kneel at the rock wall with me and accept Christ. Of course, he was 6 years old. He was giggling. He didn't know what was going on. But I gave my life to God then, and I have not turned back. I mean, life was not easy after that. Life got a lot harder after that, believe me.
Amen to that.
Yeah, it did at times. But I've never, ever, ever regretted ever giving my life to God. So,
man, no, me neither, man. It was the best day of my life, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. So we've been walking with God for quite some time, man.
That's cool.
By the way,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
By the way, I really like your Deliverance shirt.
Oh, thank you. Anchor Merchandising. Shout out to Anchor Merchandising. Go there, anchormerchandising.com. And man, they got all kinds of shirts from tons of bands. Shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs. I mean, all kinds of different merch. High quality, great prices. Shout out to my dude, Anthony Gober. So, just wanted to give him a plug.
Right.
Right on. Yeah. You know what's funny is I had the same exact shirt a couple of years before I got this one, and I got it from some other website. And after watching it a couple of times, print started coming out.
Oh, man.
I buy it from Anchor Merchandising. It's been washed dozens of times and still looks brand spanking new. So there you go. That's proof of the quality right there.
Colors and it's popping. That's good tea. I like it, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Do you guys have a website, social media links, things like that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, that's currently in the process right now. Raz had a Reverb Nation page up not too long ago. Steve, my bass player, is currently working on a YouTube channel for us. Nice. But we are streaming on all platforms, and the website's under development right now. But if you have Spotify, Tidal, Deezer, you'll see the Dying to Live logo in a black, royal blue, and white format. We do have a Facebook page, Reverb Nation, not Reverb Nation, but Facebook Dying. And the way you spell it out is Dying, 2 capital I's for Roman numeral 2. Okay? Live. Dying to Live, the Roman numeral 2, live. And you can find us on Facebook as well. And you'll also see our lyric video up for Grind as well, produced by Turner Pro Media out of Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. We do have a lyric video up for Grind as well right now. So you can check out there. And then
make sure you guys check that out. Dying to Live lyric video for Grind.
Yeah.
And so one more question that I do have is, do you have like a favorite Bible verse? What's your favorite Bible verse and why?
Years ago, I went to the International House of Prayer in Atlanta. Just kind of.
Did they have pancakes?
I'm sorry?
Oh, you said prayer. I was trying to make a joke and it came out stupid. I said, did they have pancakes?
There were connections between those two organizations for a while, that's for sure. But me and a group of guys went down there, and a lady began praying over me, and she said, Sean, I've got Psalms 149 for you. I think it was verses 8 through 10. And she said, this is what I got for you, man. And she said, with a song in their mouth and a sword in their hands, they execute vengeance on the nations.
Wow.
Now, 10 years ago, that was a kind of a heavy for me. It's like, well, what does that mean? She goes, Sean, when you sing, when you worship, it's warfare for the Lord. when we pour our hearts out to God and declare who he is, it stirs him up like a man of war.
Oh, yeah.
When we take care of business, and that's the strangest, weirdest thing to say, here I am lost in this moment where I'm worshiping God, hopefully in spirit and truth. And because of that, the byproduct of that is that God goes to war for me. And it became my life first. So much so, I put it on my arm here. Let's see if I can get that.
Oh, nice.
There we go.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the sword's for me to remind me that there's a lot more going on in the heavenlies than just, pouring out our affections to God. We worship God because he's worthy. That's the only good reason. But one of the byproducts of a pure heart is that God begins to fight our battles for us. And so that's my life verse, is with a song in their mouth and a sword in their hands, they execute vengeance on the nations. And I asked God, I said, well, who are these nations that we're supposedly executing vengeance on? And he answered me very quickly. He said, Sean, any nation that stands itself up or opposes me or my people are my enemies. Now you don't hear about that side of God, but I think you don't have to look forward into the news reports the last couple of weeks of what's happening in Israel.
Right, exactly.
Right? Israel, for all of her flaws, for all of her problems, is a beautiful picture of the church. We're flawed, we have issues, we keep running from God, we keep rebelling against God, we keep repenting and running back to him. But Israel is the apple of God's eye. And any nation who stands themselves up against Israel is opposing God himself.
Yep.
Choose carefully how you treat Israel, right?
Oh, yeah.
So that was my life verse. Raz, what you got, man?
My life verse is Isaiah 53:5. For you was wounded for our transgressions, and bruised for our iniquities, and the chastisement for our peace is upon your shoulders, and by the stripes we are healed. That's been my life verse, because I've dealt with medical issues my whole life. When I was 2 years old, I had a virus eating through the nerve cells in my brain, and they caught it right before it turned to polio. And 10 years later, I was diagnosed with epilepsy because they caught that virus in my brain. And when they caught it, they left a scar, and now that scar isn't there no more, praise God. And that's why Isaiah 53:5 is my life verse.
Awesome. Very cool. Man, guys, thank you so very much for taking time out of your Friday evenings and time away from your families and all that to hang out with me and have a chat with me. And I get to know you guys a little better. You get to know me a little better. And I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, just tell the folks who are listening out that Grind is Complete lyric video is available on Facebook. And come January, our next single will be out, Breakaway, streaming on all platforms. And we look forward to having more conversations on Covenant Metal. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. I would love to have you guys back again in the future. And God bless you, your families, and everything you guys do, man. Sincerely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, Raz, remind me, once we get these T-shirts pressed, we got to send one to Dave, okay?
I would wear one with honor. It would be a good thing. Absolutely.
Shameless plug, man.
Okay.
All right, guys. God bless. We'll see you soon. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.